Not our paintings. Where are the Silvans? The Turnipans cried out as their home burned down around them. Grim laughter resounded from the carotenoids chasing them. All hope seemed lost. The carotenoids felt that this forest was finally theirs, as they fearlessly chased the helpless. This confidence was briefly interrupted by the crunching of leaves behind a group of them. They turned around to see a massive Silvan, a pinecone guardian of the forest, the likes of which they thought had all burned. After a moment of silence, the carotenoids laughed, taunting the lone Silvan. "Looks like our lucky day. I thought we ran out of Silvans to burn," said one of them. The Silvan kept walking forward, unfazed, and responded, "You're right about that. You are lucky. Very few of your kind have seen what it truly means for us to serve the waning moon." "Well, tonight there's only one of you, and many of us," said the same carotenoid, suddenly less confident. Phylax, the towering Silvan, stopped close enough for them to see his stature and continued, "Actually, I wasn't talking about myself. I was talking about them." The carotenoids now saw phantom bodies of Silvans appear all around them, something they had never seen before. They were now attacked from all sides. Terrified, they tried to flee, but to no avail. Phylax helped finish them off, but it could barely have been considered a fight. The carotenoids were swiftly taken care of. The phantoms then approached Phylax. "Brother, you mustn't stay untethered for so long. It's dangerous. You know we can still only beam down during the waning moon. Why risk your moon body?" asked one of the phantoms. Phylax responded, "Someone has to protect the Turnipans and find a new forest for us all. I know the risks. My moon body is useless if I can't do everything I can here." The phantoms looked at each other for a moment before speaking again. "We have decided amongst ourselves that you are worthy of donning the armor of the Lunar King. We will return on the full moon, from which point you shall carry our destiny on your shoulders." They vanished after these words, and Phylax was stunned, as the honor they decreed hadn't been known for ages. They returned to the moon, where their true forms lived. Phylax had brought his moon body down into the terrestrial world of Verdanthea, where it was no longer glowing and white, but tinged with the earthy tones of this planet. While he looked like a regular Silvan here, he was much larger and more powerful. He roamed the forest, looking for stray Turnipans and wiping out any carotenoids he saw along the way. He spent his nights at campfires with Turnipans, finding comfort in exchanging stories. One day Phylax was approached from behind by a carotenoid. As usual, Phylax was unfazed. "If you wish to pay an early visit to the Reapers, I suppose I can help," he said before turning around. To his surprise, it wasn't an ordinary carotenoid, it was a red one. "You're the only one paying a visit to the Reapers today," said Darcus, the red carrot. Phylax looked around to notice there was also an army of carotenoids surrounding him. "Don't worry," said Darcus. "They're not really necessary. I can assure you, I'm more than strong enough to fight you alone." A duel immediately erupted between the two. Fists were thrown in both directions. Phylax wound up being thrown on the ground. His attempts to get up and continue to fight became futile. This red carrot was the strongest foe he had ever encountered. Darcus taunted him, "What's the matter? Your glowing friends and moon powers don't work this time of month." The carotenoids watching laughed at this remark, satisfied as they were to see Phylax defeated. Finally, Phylax remained on the ground, and Darcus swiftly chained him to a tree. "Look, I'm not senseless. The Empire only brings me out for matters of importance. So, I'll get right to it." "Where is the flower of the pines?" Darcus asked. "I'll never tell," said Phylax. Darcus pulled out a small torch. "You either tell us, or you burn," said Darcus. "Then I'll burn," said Phylax. "As you wish," said Darcus, who dropped the torch on tree brush below Phylax. The fire slowly grew bigger and bigger, when all of a sudden a tremor was heard at their feet. The surrounding carotenoids looked scared, but Darcus was unmoved and said, "Your feeble tricks won't fool us, Phylax. Unless you talk, you meet the Reapers tonight." As if to answer him, the fire suddenly went out, apparently doused by some frequency. Immediately afterwards, the carrots heard something else, the loud clanking footsteps of a giant. Then everything happened very fast. The carotenoids barely had a chance to see the army approaching them before the blasts. The Broccolarians had arrived. New Broccolaria had produced a fighting force of tremendous power and speed. An army equipped with cannons that targeted each carotenoid on a cellular level saw the orange threat vaporized before a defense strategy could be realized. Darcus, the red carrot, found a powerful frequency sending him to the ground. In moments, it was all over. The leader of the Broccolarians approached Darcus and said, "We purposely let you be the last survivor so that you can tell your king what you've witnessed. Tell him that Iron Stem is coming. Now run." Darcus fled as fast as he could, not looking back. The leader of the Broccolarians then freed Phylax, who stood up as they faced each other. "Your Iron Stem?" asked Phylax, unsure what to make of all this. "No, far from it. I am Phylax, leader of the first fleet of New Broccolaria. You seem like someone we can use in our ranks. An enemy of the carrots is a friend of ours," said Phylax. "Thank you for saving my life. I am Phylax. Given the circumstances and our names, I feel as though you are my long-lost spore brother, reaching out to me from the Latosian blossoms themselves. I'm not sure I'm even conscious now. I feel the same. It feels surreal being on old Broccolaria. Well, Verdanthea, I should say. But we are here to mount a serious attack. You wouldn't know the best route to the old Carrot Empire capital, would you?" asked Phylax. "As it happens, I know these woods better than anyone, even with your fancy technology. I'd be happy to guide you, my friend," said Phylax. This new friendship having commenced, this Broccolarian army worked its way through the old forests and stealthily towards the edge of the old Carrot Empire capital itself. One night, while all the Broccolarians were sleeping, Phylax lay awake, looking at the moon, which had just become full. He remembered the promise of the phantom Silvans and questioned if they would really appear, as that which they agreed upon felt too great to even hope for. Yet, in the middle of the night, they manifested before him. A wordless ceremony began, as the ritual was known to them at a young age. They imbued Phylax with the powers of the Lunar King, the likes of which no living Silvan had known in their time. Their collective lunar energy manifested the armor of the Moon King upon the frame of Phylax, who could now walk the earthly domain with an ethereal power and responsibility. The ceremony being complete, the phantoms faded away into the night. The next day, Phylax was surprised to see Phylax having such an impressive appearance. But before he had time to comment on it in depth, their army had reached the end of the forest, and the Carrot Empire's old capital loomed ahead of them. Phylax surveyed the scene as the army continued to march forward. Phylax, with his keen eyes, noticed something odd in the distance. "Phylax, you should take a look at this. You see that tiny line in the distance coming over the horizon? Those aren't carotenoid troops. Those are potatons." The early access for episode 4 of part 4 is available in the link in the description. Thanks for watching.